Hey guys, welcome back. It's officially day one, and today my goal is to get my first kind of frame designed. You can say that. I just realized there's a new tool called Alex Sidebar. I'm just researching on what's the difference between using cursor and using Alex Sidebar. To me, they are almost the same. So I asked ChatGPT what's the difference of them, and GPT told me you can actually use both of them. And I realized actually, you know what, might as well. The more the merrier, right? So I just realized I have watched a video from Matthew Berman a few days ago. He talked about how he uses Cursor to help him build an app. And in this video, he mentioned that you can customize some parameters for Cursor AI pretty much. That's kind of serving as the backbone for who you are, what you want to do. So I'm just rewatching that video to get more details because I realized I didn't remember anything. I know it's called this, but I got ours for both sides and I guess that cannot create profile for that bundle. Okay. Original profile, no profile. Oh no, found. Okay, seems like that. Cool. Fix the profile. This. Hyphen? You can't have hyphen in there, although. So what happened was I had a space in my project folder name, and that space was converted into hyphen, which is not recognized in Xcode. So I don't see signing, which caused a bunch of issues, and Cursors suggested me to check the signing and other details. Do you mean Apple's terminal app or the Cursor? So as you can see, I was mindlessly following instructions from Cursor. Whatever they want me to do, or whatever they suggested,
it's
I'll just say, go, do it.
Top. Okay, wow. Come on, I need some coffee.
So this might look like a basic troubleshoot for a lot of you who are familiar with Xcode, but for a rookie like me, I get these kind of silly errors a lot. And each time when those issues happen, I can learn a lot from it. So I changed the name and remove the space and hyphen, but it still shows me the error. Personally, I like Apple's voice to text feature rather than using AI apps because Apple's one runs offline and it's more private.
Setting actions. Accounts tab. Alright. Okay, so plus sign in.
I got everything checked, but the error is still here. No project or font. So as you can see, I was looping in circles before I even started code. Remove the iCloud capability. Do I have to pay the $99 per year to use the iCloud kit and push notification to build the app? I'm not 100% sure if the checked feature of iCloud was enabled by default or it was in my first instructions to Cursor, but I can give them feedback when things happen like this, so they can self-check and give me the next step. And so I've been following its instructions, but no matter what I changed, it just seems there's no way to get rid of those warning signs, and I feel really frustrated looping in circles. Okay, I'm really confused. What is going on here? I think since I only have 100 lines so far, it's not too much of a deal. I can just recreate from scratch, this time with the proper naming of the folder. So maybe that will fix. Lucky for me, I copied all the codes and deleted the original project folder and recreated a new one without a space this time. Cool, so this time there's no signing issues. Thank God. Okay, cool, let's move on. So what's this error? Cannot find NS color in scope. Okay, cool. Cool. So I trashed everything and start over again, and then the profile issue is gone. But now there is a new error. Cannot find NS color. I had a rough impression that seeing NS means it's some kind of legacy code and it's not native in Swift. Don't ask me how I got this impression. So clearly, Cursor didn't follow my rules, which I asked to use Swift only. And I thought maybe I need to give it a better instruction on how to follow my rules. So I went back once again to watch this video by Matthew Berman to check if I missed any useful tips on calibrating Cursor AI. I added more strict rules on using Swift only, unless I give permission. I prefer using Swift and SwiftUI, Swift Data, since it's the language that gives the best result across Apple devices from iPhone to Mac to TV, even Vision Pro. I continued working on debugging, and that night, I had my first milestone. Alright, so something really cool just happened. I was able to render this kind of first window view successfully. Check this out. I got my window as rendering correct. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Okay, so apparently there's a new ChatGPT plugin for Cursor. This is getting out of control. So I just installed it. I'm not sure what it does exactly. Hopefully it gives me more tokens on the sidebar. We'll see. And actually even link ChatGPT with my Xcode directly. So with this turned on, I'm hoping I don't have to pay for too many subscriptions all at once and just using ChatGPT for it. But how do I active ChatGPT? That's weird. We'll have to see. Apparently I just need to quit ChatGPT and reopen it, and then it can read my Swift document now. Sweet! I then started working on fixing the sidebar icon previewing issue. I spent hours on this one because the animation was not going smoothly. As you can see, there's some ghosting effects when clicking on the sidebar icon. You can see I couldn't get this to work as intended. I chose to move on and come back later for that. Next thing is to make this look nicer for my own eye, at least for now. I always appreciate good design logos and symbols. After appreciating countless of symbols used in various apps, the first thing I want to try is to give my own app some icons and symbols. Meanwhile, using Cursor for majority of the code altering. You probably also noticed that I opened another ChatGPT panel on the left. I find this is really useful, especially after I discovered that I can link GPT with Xcode and even Cursor. It significantly increased my efficiency on communicating with AIs. So now not only GPT understands me from all this year's communication, but can also tailor the answer to my preference. You can see it did a pretty darn good job on picking the matching icons. I thought I have to manually tweak each of them, but no, they look ready to go. I then went on asking deeper questions like, how does a font size work? Just for me to get a grasp on what's behind the scene, hoping it may help me in the future. But it went on changing the code and changed the color from blue to white. Probably think I'm not happy with the resolution. I have went back and denied each change he suggested. Okay, I think I might use Cursor, he, his, Claude interchangeably from now on.
But inspired from this color shift, it reminded me I can change my app's font color too. I searched where the keyword blue occurred and changed it to yellow. Seeing it reflected instantly makes me really happy. This little play gave me a huge confidence boost on working on some challenging task. Before now, every menu have the same subpage. I want to have a clear section for each major functions, and store all deleted items in its own section. I find giving detailed instructions always help getting less bugs. And no surprise, bugs happened, so I put Cursor to work on the debugging while using my GPT to ask some terminology. I found GPT did a better job on babysitting me. No, I really mean it. I'm like a baby learning to walk, and if Cursor is a teacher who's always here to correct my steps and posture, GPT is like the gentle voice I heard from afar, telling me I got this. And I quite enjoy this setup, especially since the left panel in each app is not what I normally interact with. That leaves some empty space, which can be perfectly taken usage of. And it looks like each main menu got its own page, but I have another issue. The content preview is always cropped in Xcode. So I asked GPT how to get its preview area bigger since I prefer to use it for non-code related questions. I also noticed that the app preview is fixed in center. I can't nudge it up or down, so I asked ChatGPT that question, but I didn't realize that I asked the wrong question or in a wrong thread. Since this thread has been Swift coding related, naturally GPT thinks I'm asking a scroll feature in Swift rather than how Xcode works. Thanks to this answer, I realized how important it is to keep the same topic in the same chat group with GPT. So I switched on another question I had in mind. I'm confused with the preview and simulator and Mac and iOS, and my iPhone all appeared in the list for me to choose. So I asked GPT what's the use of them. And for no reason, the sidebar now appears with blurb behind it for the first time, adding more confusion to how this is all rendered. I must have accidentally triggered some mode for personal phone because it's doing some loading work onto my own phone, and at first I was worried because I don't know if this is gonna crash my phone or not. Then it quickly got worse. I was really worried it must be writing tons of data into my phone, or it won't take some simple task so long to finish. So far I've been dealing with the preview area in Xcode only, which is the only place I knew that can see how the app works, until I discovered the magic shortcut Command R. It let me run actual app on my Mac. So you can see I'm using both AI to assist me, and they have distinctive roles. Cursor only focuses on the coding, and GPT for terminology, app usage, project planning, and overall answers. Switching the question like asking Cursor this will have negative impact on the code as it will alter them rather than simply answer. Ask ChatGPT to alter the code, it won't be as efficient as using Cursor alone. turns out I was overthinking. I shouldn't significantly fill up my storage. Although my Mac was full yesterday and it was not a good time to see that happen. I was in the middle of coding and editing, and I had used all my tricks to delete files. My 2TB iCloud was even full at one stage. Took me 10 years of paying for iCloud to fill that up. You can imagine the frustration I was in. You can see here I asked Cursor, what does he prefer to be called? Then I worked on a setting page in my app, which basically let the user change the orders of the modifier keys. After long-waited loading, I was finally able to see a preview on an iPhone and on my own iPhone as well for the first time. But you can see I'm still not 100% sure how all these simulators works. I kept asking GPT these questions. I then tried to ask GPT to assign a custom shortcut to my app, but it wasn't going very well, so I decided to move on after years of talking with GPT. A good tip I can share with you all is that keep a thread with an easy name so that you can quickly search and find the title. After a few more debugging, I ran out of credit. You can see I was not happy at first, like a baby's toy being taken away. The next few days, I began drawing more on my notepad on some of the bone structures of my app, since I realized the more detailed instructions I give on what I want it to look like, the better it gets for AI to write code for me. Oh, and I also paid for Cursor, but the process is not straightforward. The CAPTCHA won't load, and there's no clear prompt on what's blocking it. I used my guesswork and disabled browser extensions, but card payment still won't go through. Eventually, I just decided to use Apple Pay on my Mac. It worked like the breeze. I think I'm gonna use Apple Pay for web payment from now on. No drama. Remember I said all my storage was full? Juggling through all the editing and archiving raw footage was clearly getting in the way of my workflow. So of course I'm gonna ask GPT what's a good workflow for my situation, particularly shooting, editing, archiving. Well, the short answer is I'm still experimenting different methods at the point of this editing, but I think I'm very close to establishing a consistent workflow. I would like to hear from you if you're also on this journey.